Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net and it is Saturday the 25th of January. Thanks again for watching. It's a weather school day today, which means that I'm out and about, and as always the weather for weather school takes a turn for the worse. We've got some heavy rain on the way, we've got cooler temperatures next week, and I've also got an outlook for you from the updated long range models taking us through February. So hang on in there and let's take a look at what's going on. Now, as I say, we've got some problems with rainfall coming up. This is the chart for Sunday, and you see deep area of low pressure to the west of Scotland through Sunday. These fronts tracking their way eastwards. It's these that are responsible for bringing the heavy periods of rain. This low actually deepening virtually out of nowhere during the next 24 hours. The rain band developing on it, sweeping eastwards through the country relatively quickly, but given the heavy rain that we had on Friday night into this morning, and this idea of more heavy rain coming in, it's just not going to take a great deal to flood out, particularly across already sodden western parts of the country. So these are the sort of rainfall totals that are being predicted at the moment by the Canadian model, and you see how most of the rainfall is out towards these more western areas. The yellow and the red colours there showing us where the heaviest of the rain is expected to be. Now, if we just zoom in and take a look at total rainfall down in the southwest and through Wales, you can see here that the model is predicting that we see in excess of 70 millimetres of rain affecting western parts of Wales, and we've got 50 to 60 millimetres of rain affecting southwestern parts of England. Now, that's total rainfall, so that's through today towards the end of Sunday, but you can certainly see there how much rain there's going to be. A little bit further north through the country, again, we've got very heavy rain across northwestern parts of England into southwestern parts of Scotland. Here we're seeing totals of around 30 to 60 millimetres on the hills, lower levels generally around 20 to 30 millimetres. So you see why there is this risk of flooding again, and you need to stay in touch with the Environment Agency to give you the very latest on the flood warnings. Just to compare the rainfall totals, this is the totals from the GFS model, and this takes us into the middle part of next week, and you can see here, look, that totals generally are coming in at between 50 and 70 millimetres for most places. Wettest here across western parts of Scotland, across northwestern parts of England, really wet weather coming into the southwest as well, and as I say, given the already dodgy situation there as far as water levels are concerned, that's where most of our concern is focused on flooding. Further east, we've got typical totals around a 20 to 30 millimetres, and just interesting to see these little blue splodges here, look, that's where areas are protected from rainfall by hills out towards the west, and that's where we get that rain shadow effect. But most of us seeing at least an inch or so of rain during the next few days. Now, as I said, it's turning colder too. This is the temperature graph for London for the next 7 days, and you can see there, look, how cold it becomes. We're looking at temperatures probably getting up to around 11 degrees Celsius this afternoon, but by the time we're getting into the middle and the end part of next week, we're maximums of 4 and 5 degrees Celsius. Add into that the effect of an east or northeasterly wind, it's certainly going to be feeling cold, and also the threat of some sleet and snow in there too. So a quick look through the rest of the week then. This is the chart for Monday. Still got low pressure out towards the west of Scotland. Front sweeping their way eastwards, bringing showers or longer spells of rain. Some really heavy periods of rain out towards the western coasts. And again, those sweeping eastwards, bringing the risk of some hail and thunder with them. A windy day too, and into Tuesday we stay windy. Low pressure here starting to track its way southwards. Now, as that happens, it's going to be bringing in colder east or northeasterly winds through most parts of the country, so the temperatures are going to be falling, and again we see the risk of sleet and also some snow showers on the hills, perhaps even at low levels later on. On to Wednesday now, and the low has gone south of the country. The wind's coming in from the east, so breezy. This trough line here showing us showers moving in from the east. They'll be wintry at times, so with an increasing risk of sleet and snow even at low levels, particularly through central and eastern parts of the country. Brighter further west, although just about anywhere could get a covering of snow by Wednesday morning. But again, I stress, don't think this is depths of winter. It's not. It's just that it looks as if there could be some snow around. And then on to Thursday. Well, a cold look to things on Thursday. Still got this east and northeasterly wind affecting most parts of England and Wales, so another cold one. Some snow showers again affecting these eastern coasts. Further west, it should be brighter. There'll be some sunny spells around, but it's still going to be feeling quite cool, although rain coming in on this front later on in the day. So some really cool conditions to contend with, and the threat of some wintry weather ahead. Okay, so let's have a look and see what's going on in the longer range then. This is week 1 from the JMA. So this has taken us from the 24th through to the 31st of January. UK is just underneath here. And what it's shown us is this deep trough out towards the east look here and the ridge in the Atlantic with the flow coming in as a cool northwesterly. So it's this trough here that generates that low which brings in that east or northeasterly flow. So a real cool look to things during this week. As far as rainfall is concerned, it's got blue colours here mostly across the British Isles, look, so indicating rainfall totals above normal, and that's probably correct. I think we're going to be looking at 150 to 200% of normal rainfall through the UK. Temperatures looking like this, so the blue colours there indicating temperatures of typically down to 2 degrees Celsius below normal across the UK, and that looks about right as well. And then as we go into week 2, so from the 1st of February through to the 7th of February, still got this trough out towards the east look and making less of the ridge in the Atlantic, but the overall impression from this is of the cool west to west northwesterly flow just continuing through the country. The jet coming straight across the Atlantic there, so staying fairly unsettled and cool. More rain to come too. The blue colours here indicating rainfall totals above normal once again. So we're going for 120 to 150% of normal rainfall during this first week of February. And temperatures too are looking on the cool side. Now, just to compare the models, this is week 1 from the CFS, and again you can see here that we've got the trough look down through the country into Europe, and even into week 2, look, that trough is still there. So good agreement with the Japanese model that we're going to be seeing the trough through the country and the unsettled conditions continuing and also staying on the cool side. In fact, that's confirmed by the CFS temperature charts here. Look, you see temperatures falling during the course of the week and cooler temperatures around during next week. But look how cold the states are there. That blue colour showing temperatures of below 4 degrees Celsius below normal. Also notice here, look, central parts of South America also on the cold side for week 1, but a little bit warmer as we get into week 2. A quick look ahead then into week 3 and 4. So this goes forwards from the 8th of February through to the 23rd of February. And we're picking up more of a jet coming back in across the Atlantic, lower than normal heights. So again, very unsettled, indicated as staying cool. And the rainfall figure showing that too, look, still blue colours there, indicating wetter than normal conditions. Temperatures as well on the Japanese forecast to be below normal going through to this period up to the 22nd, 23rd of February. And the CFS is basically on board with that as well. This is week 3 from the 7th to the 13th. And again, look, notice the trough here, the jet stream coming in, blowing across the Atlantic, bringing more unsettled and cool conditions. And it stays that way as well into week 4. Again, there's the jet stream across the Atlantic. They're making more of the trough out towards the west at that stage. They're bringing us more into a southwesterly during this period. And I think that's probably about right. Temperature-wise, deep cold again, look, through the states. Not making us quite so cold into week 3, but as we head into week 4, again, depths of cold through the states, not quite as cold, and certainly bringing things a little bit warmer through the UK. So I think what we can take from this is that we're certainly going into a colder spell of weather now. We've got some wintry conditions to look forward to as we get into the end of January through the beginning of February. But then I do think from around about the 12th, 13th of February onwards, things do start to get a little bit milder again with that southwesterly flow. But certainly it's not depths of winter that we're approaching now, but I think it's going to be cold, it's going to be unsettled, and it's going to be wet, and it's probably mid-February before we see any real improvement in terms of temperatures. But even then, it looks as if it stays pretty unsettled for most of the country, although the south does improve. So I'll leave you with that for now. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. Don't forget, we kept free of charge because of you coming back and using the site, and that means we can put more adverts in front of you, which generates the revenue which keeps us free of charge. So thanks again for doing that. Thanks for watching. I'm off to weather school. Whatever you're doing today, have a great day and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.